WROC-TV 8, Rochester. From Rochester's first television station, this is News 8 Nightbeat.
Tension in North Israel. Good evening, I'm Elisa Mara. Jim Parsons has the night off. 10,000 Arabs from villages throughout Israel gathered in the tiny town of Nazareth today. Their message, get out. The group supports the PLO and aired their feelings by carrying signs with the names of Palestinians killed since an escalation of unrest that began in early December. Leaflets went out asking the government to end detention without trial and to feel sympathy for the some 38 Palestinians who have died in the past 2 months. That message hit home as dozens gathered at the downtown Liberty Pole this morning. They too called for peace, especially along the Gaza Strip, where one protester says his family is now living.
How can you live under a martial law all the time? It's just army patrolling the streets. It's just no way of living, no civilian government or nothing. We don't have no rights.
Israeli Prime Minister Yitzhak Shamir has said that accepting the idea of a Mideast peace conference is tantamount to a separate Palestinian state. But today's protesters are more concerned with the United States' role in the conflict. And during the protest, they had some thoughts on how President Reagan should be involved.
They send $6 billion aid every year to Israel government. For that case, they could tell Israel, look, you have to make peace to these people. You have to give them their rights. Otherwise, we stop this money.
Protesters want local people to write their congressional representatives to rally the cause. President Reagan is stating his views on Contra aid in no uncertain terms this weekend. He used his weekly radio address to blast those who say rebel aid hinders the Central American peace process. The president says he will ask for another round of Contra funding when he makes his State of the Union address on Monday night. In Nicaragua, the Sandinistas appear divided on that issue. President Daniel Ortega is offering a compromise, but some hardliners seem to be even more militant than before. More from NBC's Ed Rabel.
The Nicaraguan government is providing ammunition for its opponents in the United States is apparent. Item. Just last night, one of Nicaragua's most powerful leaders, Bayardo Arce, told a rally of the ruling National Liberation Front that the leftist government will never surrender power. Item. A pro-government mob shouting people power and long live the revolution hurls rocks into a building where opposition leaders are meeting. No arrests are made.
Ortega is not living up to his commitment that he already made.
When Nicaragua's President Daniel Ortega lifted his country's state of emergency, political opponents were supposed to feel more free to challenge the government. But just as Ortega was lifting the siege, Conservative Party President Mario Rapacholi was being arrested by Sandinista police for meeting with the U.S.-backed Contra rebels. He was later released. Now he thinks twice before making a political move against the government.
When you feel fear, it takes time to wipe that fear out of your mind.
It is that fear that keeps independent broadcasters from transmitting news programs, even though they have a right to do so. Radio station owner Jose Castillo says he's afraid the government would put him off the air altogether if he broadcasts news.
It's something that they have built into our minds for 8 years. You cannot change that with the law.
After 8 years of Sandinista rule, opponents say what it comes down to is trust. And even though the government is promising democracy, most opponents simply don't believe that it will make good on the promise. Ed Rabel, NBC News, Managua.
Conflict of a different kind was the topic of conversation today at Monroe Community College. Teachers there are learning how to instruct their students in the problems associated with the Vietnam War. The seminars review the best textbooks and video aids for the classroom. And people who run the workshops say now is a good time to introduce Vietnam into the class. Movies like Platoon have made the conflict a hot topic. Coming up next on News 8, a big show of support for a former chief and the latest on ATV safety. We'll be right back.
Say Maitland makes in the vicinity of, give or take, a few dollars, say $1 million a year.
Winning the world over.
You're
looking at the best-selling full-size pickup in America, the new Ford F-150. And now save over $2,100 on options and an additional $100 on a Ford bedliner. That's value only your Ford team can offer. Act now and register to win a new F-150 on display at most Chase Pitkin home centers or drive one at your Ford team today. Quality people, quality products.
Have you driven a Ford lately?
It happens just once a year, the Clothing Center's annual winter clearance sale. From now till February 1st, the Clothing Center is discounting its already low discounted prices. Discover famous designer suits as low as $75. Brand name sport coats beginning at $45. Shirts, sweaters, outerwear, rainwear, top coats and slacks, all with a discount on top of a discount. At the Clothing Center, you'll find it all, and now you'll find it double discounted. The Clothing Center, all under one roof.
Shop Lauer's Furniture in the Pittsburgh Place Mall for sensational savings during our store-wide January clearance sale. Thousands of quality furniture and carpet items have been drastically reduced during this January savings event. Maximum selection for every room and every style at savings of 20 to 70% with no payment and no interest until March 28th. Shop Lauer's gigantic carpet department for 20 to 70% savings on carpet, area, and oriental rugs. Lauer's Furniture January clearance sale. Lauer's, Monroe Avenue across from Pittsburgh Plaza.
Tap your talent. Start a new hobby with Dan's incredible collection of crafts and things.
Create counted cross-stitch with patterns, cloth, and floss.
Radio control planes, plus engines, parts, and fuel.
Design a lamp with stained glass, lead cane, and electrical parts.
Yarns, hooks, and patterns to crochet a classic doll.
Kits to build a wooden ship, authentic fittings, and paint.
Create pretty party favors for weddings, bridal, and baby showers.
You'll find a friendly hand at Dan's where everyone does crafts and hobbies.
Dan's Crafts and Things, Empire Boulevard in Irondequoit between 590 North and Culver Road.
A giant turnout for Gerald Barker. The former chief of detectives for the county called it quits last month after moves by Sheriff Maloney to oust him from the department. Tonight, crowds of officers and public officials turned out for a Barker farewell. The former chief spent 24 years with the department, the last 7 of them as chief of detectives. His ouster had been shot down by the Monroe County Legislature, but Barker decided to leave anyway and says he'll do fine on his own. Local sheriff's deputies are hoping for small numbers of calls this season for all-terrain vehicle accidents. That's why the department's sponsoring safety courses for ATV riders. Lisa Engstrom sat in on one today.
4 wheels are dangerous. 3 wheels are deadly.
That's why the Monroe County Sheriff's Department is offering for the first time an ATV safety certification course, mandatory for those 10 to 16 years old. This 7-year-old is here even though she's too young to be certified.
I've been riding since I was 4, and I only had one close call.
In the past 3 to 4 years, 800 three-wheel drivers have died. Manufacturers have agreed to stop production. The latest crackdown is happening behind the counter before the sale.
The state is now putting out a warning to parents or whoever's buying the machines that under a certain age, it's not recommended that a person operate it.
A bill in the legislature could void this class for many kids. It would mean no one under 16 be allowed behind the ATV wheel.
I feel it's totally right. I mean, kids too little, like, unless they have a safety course like this, shouldn't ride them that much because it's not safe. Well, it's safe, but alone, they shouldn't drive them.
I do think it's unfair.
How come?
Because it's like, it's something kids should do. It's fun. I mean, they shouldn't take it away. They're taking everything else away from us. Like, you can't drive till you're 16, then they're raising drinking age. It's just something kids should, something fun.
The biggest problem is many kids don't know the difference between fun and dangerous. Just as a 16-year-old doesn't start out with a Porsche on the Autobahn, an ATV driver doesn't start out with a 91cc engine in a wooded area. Lisa Engstrom, News 8.
Some tense moments at the 3M plant on Mount Read Boulevard this afternoon. A drum filled with the chemical acetone began to expand and get very hot. An employee who discovered the container called the hazmat team and a couple of fire departments. They arrived and relieved the pressure on the tank. Acetone is a mildly poisonous but flammable liquid. Crews said it began to expand because of impurities in the holding drum. There were no injuries. There's some colder air on the way. Tom Messner's in next to tell us when it arrives.
If If you don't buy your new Pontiac here at Dick Eyed Pontiac Honda Yugo, it'll cost us both money. I don't get your business, and as far as I'm concerned, you don't get the lowest Pontiac price in Rochester and the choice of Western New York's largest inventory. There's a buyer's market in Hondas. We've never had as large an inventory, so we've really got a deal. And with 3 car lines, Pontiac, Honda, and Yugo under one roof, our one overhead saves you even more at Dick Eyed Pontiac Honda Yugo.
Here's a major advance in laxative science. FiberCon tablets. Far more fiber action, gram for gram, than any leading fiber laxative. Far better for your digestive health than any stimulant laxative.
You need calcium every day to help keep bone healthy. If you stop drinking milk, a prime source is gone. Add Caltrate to your diet with nature's purest, most concentrated form of calcium. Caltrate, calcium for healthy bone.
Available at all Face drugstores.
When it comes to copiers, only one company has it all together, the Office Equipment Company. They've got little copiers, big copiers, fast copiers, smart copiers,
personal copiers, systems copiers, laser copiers, and even copiers in full color.
The Office Equipment Company offers more than 38 models with 85 possible configurations from the world's largest copier makers, all backed by the strongest performance guarantee in the industry. The best service around, or we pay for it. That's why we're called the Office Equipment Company.
I'm not too crazy about banker's hours. I mean, can you find a bank open after 3? You can't do it.
Oh, yes, you can.
Sure, you can use the machines, but I like banking with people.
Oh, yes, you can.
At Central Trust, we're open most weeknights until 8, Saturdays until 1:30.
I think I'll open a new account tonight.
At Central Trust, oh, yes, you can.
Usually we're all bundled up this time of year. It's been warm.
It's been unseasonably warm.
All right, unseasonably warm.
Normally the high for the 23rd of January is 30 degrees. We got up to 34 degrees today, so we are in fact unseasonably warm. But it's getting cooler. 27 degrees now. Our humidity is at 88%. The barometer is rising from 29.9 to 0 inches, and the winds are currently out of the south at 3 miles an hour. Well, it's going to happen. It's going to become colder, but not all that fast. If you like the weather today, chances are you will like it again tomorrow. Now, temperatures tomorrow will be similar to that of which they were today. Unseasonably warm. About 35 we're looking for a high tomorrow. Now, the only difference between today and tomorrow is that tomorrow we may see some snow, but it doesn't look like we're going to see a whole bunch. So don't worry about that either. The temps are dropping, though. Buffalo at 30 now. Look at that. Elmira down to 19 degrees. We've got 31 in Watertown. Syracuse kind of chilly at 28. Binghamton even colder at 23 degrees. The radar tonight shows a bit of action to our west. Now, we've got scattered flurries you can see over the Niagara Peninsula, portions of Lake Erie County, and the western southern tier, parts of Canada, too. The flurries are moving northeast at 30 miles an hour, so I don't think we're going to see too much of these. Now, if we take a look at the satellite view of the clouds, you can see there are clouds covering the Great Lakes tonight. They're going to be moving our way. There is a low stationed over Iowa tonight that's dropped a whole bunch of snow in the upper plains and also portions of the western Great Lakes. On the surface map, we can show you what's happening here. Here's the low. It's over Iowa, and it's going to be coming our way. This cold front right here is the difference between air that's not too bad. It's okay. We're talking about temperatures around 27 where we are, but behind it, very, very cold wind chills. Minnesota tonight, a couple areas checking in. Wind chills 30 below 0. Fantastic. Now, this thing's going to be coming through our area by tomorrow night. So what we're looking at is this. Temperatures in the 30s tomorrow, coming through tomorrow night, going to drop us down into the 20s. Then we're going to be heading into the teens for a couple of days after that. So if you do like the weather we have now, we're going to have it again tomorrow. Then we're going to have to bundle up. Keep that sweater handy. Now, high pressure has been in control out west. There's a cold front branched off from the one that we want to be concerned with, which is going to bring cold temperatures down south in the western portion of the states, too. So it's not just us. Pretty much the entire United States, at least the 48 states, are going to be chilling down. If we take a look at lows tonight, you can see exactly what we're talking about. Very cold in the upper plains and western Great Lakes. Behind that cold front, temperatures in the 30s as far south as northern Florida. Now, we'll stay in the 20s tonight. Highs tomorrow, again, cold in the north central portion of the country. With things looking good in the southeast, we're going to be in the 30s again tomorrow. It's after that it's going to get cold. Here's our forecast. Tonight, mostly cloudy with occasional flurries. Tonight's low about 25 degrees, winds southerly at 5 to 15. miles per hour. For tomorrow, some snow is likely. I don't think we're going to see much in the way of accumulation. Our high tomorrow, 35 degrees, winds southwesterly at 10 to 20. Tomorrow night, snow likely once again. Tomorrow night's low in the teens, and ahead toward Monday, we're talking about partly cloudy conditions with occasional flurries. Again, not a whole lot to worry about accumulation-wise. The high on Monday, just 20 to 25 degrees, and then even cooler after that.
Oh, I'm waiting for it.
Oh, it's coming.
Thanks, Tom. The road woes continue for the Amerks. Jim Gaiman has the day's sports next.
LensCrafters has a better way to make your glasses. Our laboratories are right here in the store, so we can custom grind your exact prescription in about 1 hour and make adjustments right on the spot. Listen.
We had them faster and didn't have to wait.
The shortest time and the best pair I've ever owned. Eyeglasses within an hour and very good quality.
Got them in an hour.
Go in and get a good pair of glasses in an hour.
It's a better way to get your glasses.
LensCrafters. Quality eyeglasses in about an hour. Eastview Mall and Greasetown Mall.
Right now, your neighborhood Burger King wants to say...
Thank you. Thank you. Thanks.
...to all our customers for giving us your business. So now we're offering you a double cheeseburger for just 99 cents. A delicious flame-broiled Burger King double cheeseburger is made with 1/4 pound of pure beef, and now it's just 99 cents. But hurry into Burger King now. The 99-cent double cheeseburgers for a limited time only. It's just our way of saying...
Thank you. No, thank you.
When my nose is stuffed, I want it unstuffed fast. Boom, now!
Neosynephrine starts you breathing fast in a neosecond.
Neosynephrine, yeah. But it's got to work fast, really fast.
Nothing works faster or better than today's Neosynephrine. It starts working in a neosecond.
A neosecond. I like that.
For free breathing fast, you know you can trust Neosynephrine.
Breathing. I like that.
Neosynephrine. Relief in a neosecond.
They have so many activities that you can never be lonesome here.
Everybody's been real good.
It is just beautiful. I'm very happy. I would not move, and my husband said the same thing, anywhere else.
These folks live at Seneca Towers, and you can too. Seneca Towers has bright, spacious studio apartments available to senior citizens from just $198 per month. Call Rochester Management at 467-2442 for more information.
Tough luck for the Amerks again.
They can't seem to win on the road, and they're not going to be successful until they do. And despite another 2-goal performance by Rochester's Ken Priestley, the Amerks dropped another one on the road. Binghamton beat Rochester 4-3. The Whalers drew first blood in the game. Tony Kellan picks up the puck along the boards, puts a backhand pass. Darren Pupa, 1-0 Binghamton. And now watch Sean Cronin take the puck at mid-ice, snap a quick shot over Pupa's shoulder. Bingo was on top, 2-0. The Amerks cut the lead to 1 in the second. Jody Gage takes Jeff Capello's pass and nets his 35th goal of the year. That's tops in the league, 2-1. Ken Priestley knotted things up at 2 with this slap shot past Peter Sidorkovich, his 16th of the year. Then Gage drops the puck for Priestley at center ice. Kenny scores his second of the night, 3-2 Amerks. However, later Chris Brandt picks up the puck, beats Darcy Wakaluk, Binghamton over Rochester 4-3. Checking the rest of the AHL, Adirondack slipped by Newmarket 2-1. Baltimore beat the Bears 5-3. It was Maine over Moncton 6-5. And Nova Scotia lost to Springfield 5-4. The Sabres have turned into a bunch of Rambos on skates. Another slugfest tonight, this time with the Capitals, as Buffalo tied Washington 3-3. We're scoreless in the first period. Washington's Bob Gould and Sundstrom work the given goal up the ice. Gould finds the net behind Tom Barrasso, 1-0 Caps. Buffalo came right back, though. John Tucker picks up the loose puck and slips it under Pete Peters. His 6th of the year, ties things up at 1. Later, the two clubs battle for the puck along the boards. It squirms loose to Billy Holden, who fires it into the net, his first goal in the NHL. Buffalo and Washington finish in a 3-3 tie. To Boston, first period, Scott Mellenby gave Philadelphia a 1-0 lead. Then he picked up the rebound and touched it past Reggie Lemelin. A power play goal, the Flyers led 2-0. Later, Philly on the power play again. Pelly Eklund leaves the puck for Mark Howe, who fires it home for a 3-0 lead. With only 55 seconds left in the period, Dave Poulin on the break. He finishes it with the goal. Boston trailed 4-0, which didn't set too well with the Bruins thug, Jay Miller, who also can't talk. He dukes out with Rick Tuckett. Not a bad fight. The Flyers over Boston 6-4. Yeah, elsewhere in the NHL tonight, Calgary and Detroit finished in a 4-4 tie. The Islanders dumped Edmonton by 1. Hartford shut out Minnesota 5-0. The Blues beat Quebec 5-3. Pittsburgh was 1 goal better than the Canadians, and Chicago's on top of Toronto 3-2 in the second. In high school hockey action, Scott Mitchell scored 4 goals, and Eric Weisenberg added 3 to lift Rush Henrietta over Gates Chili 11-4. Aquinas tripped McQuaid by 5, Rick Aleko with the hat trick. Grease and Kearney skated to a 3-3 tie. Pittsburgh fell to Irondequoit 2-1. Mooney nipped Webster by a goal, and Batavia's Duncan Smith scored with no time left on the clock to help the Ice Devils tie Fairport 2-2. The U of R's basketball team improved its record to 11-3 tonight at the Palestra. The Yellow Jackets hammered Chicago 92-53. First half action, U of R in white. Eric Rao to Tyler Zeckham. The big guy cans the 15-footer on net. Later, Chicago's Eric Eden hits Tom Redberg in the corner. Redberg drives the baseline and lays it in. And there's the future Mrs. Jim Gaiman, but no, it's just a joke. Later, Jonathan Jones gets the ball at the line. He can't find it, but Zeckham's there to tip it home. U of R over Chicago 92-53. Other local scores to report: Nazareth topped RIT 77-74. Brockport State blew away Brockport by 12. Fredonia was 20 points better than Geneseo, and Penn State Barron beat Fisher 63-61. To Oklahoma, Pittsburgh in blue played horrible defense most of the game. Here the Sooners missed the shot, but Dave Seeger's right there to put in the rebound. Oklahoma had a 17-point lead. But the Panthers, give them credit, they did battle back. Demetrius Gore drives and hits the jumper. Pitt was only trailing by a bucket, 70-68. Down the stretch, Oklahoma went to his top gun, Harvey Grant. Here, Grant gets the easy basket for 2 of his game-high 28 points. The Sooners were up by 5. However, Pitt had one last chance to tie the game with a 3-pointer, but the pass is intercepted. Oklahoma upsets 6th-ranked Pittsburgh 86-83. The college football season came to an end today in Mobile, Alabama with the annual Senior Bowl. The North R-Stars prevailed over the South 21-7. It was one last chance for the players to show what they could do for the pro scouts. Here, USCLA's Willie Anderson turned a few heads with that touchdown pass. And here's Don McPherson. Late in the half, teams up with Anthony Miller, a 53-yard scoring play for the touchdown. The North over the South 21-7. Well, Big Ed Beckley did it. The 326-pound motorcycle jumper flew over 8 cars in the Winter Nationals tonight at the War Memorial. A good-sized crowd was on hand as Beckley left the stage, went airborne, and came back down. He's the fattest motorcycle jumper anywhere, and darn luck he's going to do it all over again tomorrow afternoon. And here are tonight's results from Buffalo. The daily double of 1 and 3 was worth $7, and the 4th race trifecta of 8, 3 and 1 came in for $271 and no cents. And at least a couple of other notes. St. John Fisher's women's basketball team, they're 15-0. They beat Penn State Barron today 94-54. And Jay Haas leads the Bob Hope Classic. You can watch the final round right here on Channel 8 tomorrow afternoon at 4:30. And that is sports.
Thanks very much, Jim. Up next, a couch trip to the movies. Stay with us.
No one would deny that the Japanese are aficionados of fine machinery. So when they reach that station in life when they can afford really fine machinery, guess what they buy? A car from Germany called the BMW 325i, making BMW last year's #1 selling luxury import in Japan.
Contact your Rochester area BMW dealer for a thorough test drive.
There are many ways to enjoy the flavor of real tea. But if you prefer less caffeine, most brands use chemicals that attack the flavor. A notable exception being Salada, naturally caffeine reduced. Salada found a way to remove caffeine without chemicals, so nothing can come between you and the full, rich flavor of real tea. Salada, naturally caffeine reduced.
That's a lot of tea.
And nothing more.
At the Idland Gentry Carpet Company, we always try to make our January sale the biggest of the year. This year, I've lowered prices as much as 60%, including free installation with a lifetime guarantee. I'm giving terrific discounts on area rugs, vinyl floors, and even our remnants. You know, I just can't give any more.
But I can. I can give you 6 months to pay interest-free through Sunday at Idland Gentry Carpets. Don't miss it.
The Vanderstein Report, brought to you by Jay Vanderstein.
Vanderstein Ford is on the move, and we're one car dealership that always delivers.
We deliver on the best quality Ford cars and trucks. We deliver on the best price and affordable financing. We deliver on award-winning service and customer satisfaction. Come see what makes us different.
Dwayne Brozek took a trip this weekend, a couch trip, and here's what he thinks of Dan Aykroyd's latest effort.
Let me start by honestly admitting that I fully expected to hate the couch trip. I know you're supposed to go to a film with an open mind, but I'm only human. After watching Dan Aykroyd in a half-dozen terrible comedies over the past few years, I fully expected to sit through another one. But I'm happy to say I was pleasantly disappointed. The Couch Trip is a funny, fast-paced film, and it's all Dan Aykroyd. He comes close to realizing the comic potential he showed in his Saturday Night Live days. He creates some genuinely funny moments as a mental patient who escapes to impersonate a psychiatrist in Beverly Hills.
Well, what kind of money are we talking about here?
Well, let's just say that Dr. Malin has about the most successful practice in Southern California.
I don't like that word about, especially when we're talking about money. Could you volunteer a few numbers?
I'd say Dr. Maitland makes in the vicinity of, give or take, a few dollars, say $1 million a year. Are you there, Doctor?
I'm here, Harvey, but I'm coming there.
Now, the film isn't perfect by any means. There are a few slow spots, and at times it goes for the obvious cheap laugh. And Walter Matthau, poor Walter Matthau, he's wasted in his role as Aykroyd's loony friend.
If anyone wants a donut without jelly, they're ready.
I usually like Walter Matthau, but here he looks terrible, sounds terrible, and seems to be the one way the filmmakers could work in all the cliches about psychiatry and Beverly Hills.
Finally found a place I fit in as well as I do the nut house. Beverly Hills.
Hey, there's an original line. But despite all its shortcomings, I like the couch trip. And it's really not a bad way to spend an evening. And it's a lot cheaper than going to see a real psychiatrist. On a scale of 1 to 8, I'll give it a 6. I'm Dwayne Brozek, News 8.
Not bad.
Not bad at all.
6 out of 8 isn't bad. We thank you for watching. We'll see you again tomorrow evening.
Good night.